My husband has a twin brother who visits every month. One night my husband came home early from work and was intimate with me, but now I'm not even sure it was him. My name is Rebecca, and I need to tell you what happened because I'm sitting here in my car outside a motel right now, hands shaking so badly I can barely hold my phone. Everything I thought I knew about my marriage just shattered into a million pieces. Let me back up. The morning after that night I woke up and Marcus was already in the shower. I remember lying there in bed, feeling this weird sensation in my stomach. Something felt off. I couldn't put my finger on it, but my gut was screaming at me that something was wrong. Marcus came out of the bathroom wrapped in a towel and I just stared at him. He looked at me with this strange expression. Not his usual morning smile, just this blank, almost guilty look. "You okay?" I asked. "Yeah, just tired from last night." He turned away quickly and started getting dressed. That was the first red flag. Marcus is never shy about eye contact. We've been married for 6 years. I know his face better than my own. But right then he wouldn't look at me. I got up and went to the kitchen, made coffee, tried to shake off the feeling, but it stayed with me all morning like a shadow I couldn't outrun. Here's the thing about Marcus and his twin brother Ryan. They're not actually twins. They're brothers, 11 months apart, but they look so similar that people have called them twins their whole lives. When I first met Marcus, he warned me about it. Said people get them confused all the time. Ryan lives about 3 hours away in Portland. He's an architect, never married, kind of a free spirit. He visits us once a month, usually stays for a weekend. He and Marcus are close, really close. They finish each other's sentences, have all these inside jokes from childhood. I always thought it was sweet, but that morning I started thinking about the previous night. Marcus had texted me around 6, saying he'd be home late. There was an emergency at work, some server issue that needed immediate attention. He's in IT management, so these things happen. I'd already changed into my pajamas and was watching TV when I heard the key in the lock. It was around 9:30. The lights were dim. I looked up and there he was, standing in the doorway. "Hey baby," he said. His voice sounded right. Everything seemed normal. He came over to the couch, kissed me. His kiss tasted different somehow. I remember thinking maybe he'd stopped for fast food on the way home. He smelled like cologne, but a different cologne. Lighter. But Marcus sometimes changed his cologne, so I didn't think much of it. We talked for a bit. He seemed tired. I asked about work, and he gave vague answers. Again, not unusual when he's exhausted. Then he suggested we go to bed early. What happened next is what's eating me alive right now. We were intimate, and it was different. Not bad different, just different. Little things, the way he touched me, the rhythm, even the sounds he made. But you know how when you're in the moment, you don't really analyze these things. You just feel them. Afterward, he fell asleep almost immediately. I lay there for a while, feeling strange. Then I fell asleep too. Now, sitting in the kitchen that morning after, I pulled out my phone. I scrolled to my text messages with Marcus. The last one was from him at 6:05 the previous evening. "Server's down. Going to be late. Don't wait up. Love you." Then I checked the time he'd gotten home. I looked at our Ring doorbell footage. The app showed that the front door had been opened at 9:27. I rewound the footage and watched. There he was, walking up to the door, using his key, coming inside. It was definitely Marcus. Or Ryan. I couldn't tell. The porch light makes everything look weird, and honestly, they really do look that similar. My heart started pounding. I checked further back in the footage. At 8:52, someone had left our house. I watched that clip. A figure walking out, getting into Marcus's car, driving away. Wait, someone had left. Then someone had come back. I felt sick. I opened the Find My Friends app. Marcus and I share our locations. According to the app, he was at the office right now. His little icon sat right on top of his work building, but he was upstairs in our bedroom. My hands started sweating. I called his work number. It rang 4 times, then went to voicemail. I hung up and called his cell. I heard it ringing upstairs. He didn't answer. I sat there staring at my coffee. My brain was trying to put together a puzzle with pieces that didn't fit. If Marcus left at 8:52 and someone who looked like Marcus came home at 9:27, and Marcus's location showed him at work, no. I went upstairs. Marcus was in the bedroom, putting on his shoes. He looked up when I came in. "Where's your car?" I asked. My voice came out weird, shaky. "In the driveway. Where else would it be?" "No, I stopped, looked at him, really looked at him. Never mind." He kissed my forehead and left for work. I heard the front door close, heard a car start. I ran to the window and watched our silver Honda pull out of the driveway. Then I checked the Ring footage again. Watched the person who left at 8:52 get into that same silver Honda. Watched the person who arrived at 9:27 walk up empty-handed. No car visible in the frame. That person had walked to our house, or been dropped off. I called Marcus's cell again. He answered this time. "Hey babe, what's up? I'm just pulling into work. I need to ask you something." I tried to keep my voice steady. "What time did you get home last night?" There was a pause. A long pause. "Around 9:30. "Why? And you drove straight home from work?" "Yes." "Rebecca, what's going on? What cologne are you wearing?" Another pause. "What?" "I'm wearing the same one I always wear. The Dior one you got me for Christmas. Are you feeling okay?" "I'm fine. I'll talk to you later." I hung up. Stood there in our bedroom. The sheets were still unmade from last night. I walked over to Marcus's side of the bed and picked up his pillow. Smelled it. That lighter cologne scent was there. Definitely not his usual Dior. Ryan. It had to be Ryan. But why? Why would Ryan do that? And how would Marcus not know? Unless Marcus did know. That thought made my knees weak. I sat down on the bed. Could they have planned this? No, that was insane. Why would they do something like that? I grabbed my phone and scrolled to Ryan's number. We'd texted a few times over the years, usually about birthday parties or holiday plans. I called him. It rang and rang. No answer. I didn't leave a voicemail. The whole day I felt like I was moving through fog. I kept Kept checking the ring footage, kept watching that figure arrive at 9:27, tried to see something, anything, that would prove it was Marcus, or prove it wasn't. That evening, Marcus came home at his normal time, 5:45. He walked in, kissed me hello, asked about my day. Everything was normal. Too normal. Is Ryan coming to visit this weekend? I asked casually while making dinner. Not this month. He texted yesterday saying he's swamped with a big project. Probably won't make it until next month. Oh, when did he text you? Marcus pulled out his phone, scrolled. Tuesday afternoon. Why? Just wondering. I was thinking we could all go to that new restaurant downtown. We can go just the two of us. He came up behind me and wrapped his arms around my waist. Or we can stay in, like last night. I froze. The way he said it, there was something in his voice, like he was testing me. Or maybe I was just paranoid. Yeah, I managed to say. Last night was nice. He kissed my neck and went to change out of his work clothes. I stood at the stove, stirring pasta, and felt like I was going to throw up. That night I couldn't sleep. Marcus was snoring softly beside me. I picked up my phone and started researching. I typed in husband twin brother identity and went down a rabbit hole of articles and forum posts. Twins playing pranks, identity theft, catfishing. None of it seemed to fit my situation. Around 2 in the morning, I got out of bed and went to Marcus's home office. He has a desk in the spare room where he keeps all his personal stuff. I felt guilty going through his things, but I was desperate for answers. I found old photo albums, pictures of Marcus and Ryan as kids. They really did look identical. Even as adults, the differences were subtle. Ryan's hairline was slightly higher. His nose was a tiny bit more crooked, like maybe he'd broken it once. But in dim lighting, with someone who wasn't looking closely, you'd never know. I found birthday cards, letters from Ryan to Marcus, mostly from college years. Normal brother stuff, nothing weird. In one letter, Ryan mentioned being jealous of Marcus finding me, said he wished he could find someone who looked at him the way I looked at Marcus. That felt sad, but also normal. Then I found a small wooden box tucked in the back of a drawer. Inside were old concert tickets, receipts, random memories, and underneath all of that, a flash drive. I took the flash drive to Marcus's laptop, plugged it in. My heart was beating so fast I thought I might pass out. The drive had one folder. Inside were videos, lots of videos. I clicked on the first one. It was dated from 4 years ago, before we were married. The video showed Marcus and Ryan sitting in what looked like Ryan's apartment. They were drinking beer and laughing about something. Then Ryan said something that made me go cold. Come on, man, just once, just to see if anyone can tell the difference. Marcus laughed. That's insane. What if she notices? She won't. We're literally the same person. And you're always saying she thinks we're indistinguishable anyway. It's not about looks though. It's about what? Mannerisms? Dude, I've studied you my whole life. I know exactly how you talk, how you move, everything. We used to switch places in high school all the time. That was different. This is my girlfriend we're talking about. Future wife, Ryan corrected. Look, I'm not saying I'm going to do anything. I just want to know if I could, like a social experiment. The video ended there. I sat frozen. Clicked on the next video. This one was from 3 years ago. Marcus and Ryan again, this time at our house. I recognized our living room. So did you think about it? Ryan asked. About what? The switch thing. Marcus sighed. Ryan, I'm marrying her in 6 months. I'm not gonna let you pretend to be me around her. I'm not asking for permission. I'm just saying it's interesting from a psychological perspective. Does Rebecca love you, or does she love what you represent? If she can't tell us apart, does it even matter which brother she's with? That's messed up, Ryan. Is it though? Identical twins do this all the time. There are studies about it. It's not about deception. It's about understanding the nature of connection and identity. Marcus got up and walked away. The video ended. I clicked through several more videos. They were all variations of the same conversation. Ryan pushing the idea. Marcus refusing. But as the dates got more recent, Marcus's refusals seemed weaker, less certain. The most recent video was from 8 months ago. Marcus and Ryan were sitting in a car. I couldn't see where they were. Okay, Marcus said. He looked tired, stressed, but just once, and only if the perfect opportunity comes up naturally, and you have to tell me everything afterward. Every detail. Why would I tell you details about your own wife? Ryan asked. Because I need to know if she notices. I need to know if he trailed off. If she loves you specifically, or if she'd love anyone who plays the part well enough. Yeah, and if she can't tell the difference. Marcus was quiet for a long time. Then he said, then I guess I'll know the truth. The video ended. I sat there staring at the black screen. My whole body felt numb. They'd planned this. They'd actually planned this. But when had Ryan done it? Last night was obvious. But were there other times? How many times? I spent the rest of the night going through everything on that flash drive. There were notes, observations. Ryan had written down Marcus's habits, the way he took his coffee, his favorite foods, how he said certain phrases, little things I'd never even consciously noticed. There was a schedule too, dates circled. I cross-referenced them with my calendar. 3 months ago, Marcus had supposedly worked late. I checked our ring footage from that night. Someone had left at 8:30. Someone had returned at 10:15. I'd been home both times, and the person who came home at 10:15 had been intimate with me. I put my hand over my mouth, felt tears streaming down my face. How many times? How many times had Ryan been with me when I thought it was Marcus? And worse, how could I not tell? How could I be so blind? The sun was starting to rise. I heard Marcus stirring in the bedroom. I quickly put everything back, wiped my face, and went to the kitchen, made coffee with shaking hands. Marcus came down in his pajamas, yawning. You're up early, he said. I couldn't look at him. Couldn't sleep. He came over and hugged me from behind. I stood rigid, felt his arms around me, and wondered whose arms they really were. Marcus's arms. Ryan's arms. Did it even matter anymore? I love you, he whispered into my my hair. I closed my eyes. I know. That day at work, I'm a graphic designer. Work from home mostly. I couldn't focus. I kept thinking about those videos. About Ryan's words. Does Rebecca love you? Or does she love what you represent? I loved Marcus. I knew I loved Marcus. But could I tell them apart? Really? In the dark, in intimate moments, could I know for certain who I was with? Around lunchtime, I texted Ryan. We need to talk. Call me. 2 hours later, my phone rang. Ryan's name on the screen. Hey Rebecca, what's up? His voice. It sounded exactly like Marcus's voice. How had I never realized that before? I know what you did. Silence. Long, heavy silence. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't lie to me. I found the flash drive. I watched the videos. More silence. Then, does Marcus know you found them? No, but he's going to. Rebecca, listen. No, you listen. What you did is wrong. It's sick. Both of you. You violated me. It wasn't like that. You don't understand. Then make me understand. Because right now, all I understand is that my husband let his brother pretend to be him. Let his brother sleep with his wife. What kind of person does that? Ryan sighed. It sounded shaky. When he spoke again, his voice was different. Softer. Almost sad. Someone who's desperate to know if he's loved for who he is, or just for the role he plays. That's insane. That's not how love works. Isn't it though? Think about it, Rebecca. You couldn't tell the difference. Even in the most intimate moments. What does that say about your connection to Marcus? It says you're both good liars. It says Marcus knows you well enough to teach you how to imitate him. It doesn't say anything about my love. Then why couldn't you tell? The question hit me hard. Because he was right. Why couldn't I tell? I'd made love to Ryan thinking he was Marcus, and I hadn't known. What did that mean? I want to meet, I said. Today. Right now. And I want the truth. All of it. He gave me an address. A coffee shop halfway between our cities. I'd have to drive an hour and a half. I told him I'd be there at 4. I didn't tell Marcus where I was going. I just got in my car and drove. The whole way my mind was racing. I kept thinking about my wedding day, walking down the aisle toward Marcus. Or was it Marcus? What if they'd switched that day? What if I'd married the wrong brother? No, that was crazy. I was spiraling. I needed to calm down and think rationally, but nothing about this was rational. I got to the coffee shop at 4:15. Ryan was already there, sitting at a back table. When I walked in and saw him, my heart lurched. He looked so much like Marcus. Same dark hair, same brown eyes, same jawline. He was wearing jeans and a gray sweater. Marcus had a gray sweater just like that. I sat down across from him. Neither of us said anything for a moment. You look tired, he finally said. I didn't sleep last night. Yeah, me neither. I studied his face, looking for differences. His nose was slightly crooked. There was a tiny scar on his left temple I'd never noticed before. His eyes were the same color as Marcus's, but there was something different in them. Something harder. Why? I asked. Just tell me why. Ryan wrapped his hands around his coffee cup. Do you know what it's like to be the second son? The one who came after? Marcus got married. Marcus got the stable job. Marcus got you. I got nothing. I'm 11 months younger but somehow always 10 steps behind. That's not Marcus's fault. I know. I'm not blaming him. I'm just trying to explain. I wanted what he had. Not to take it from him. Just to understand it. To feel it for myself. So you pretended to be him. Just once. That first time. 3 months ago. Marcus was supposed to work late that night. I came to your house instead. I knocked on the door and you answered and you looked at me with so much love in your eyes. You thought I was him. And for those few hours, I got to feel what he feels every day. I got to be loved by you. I felt sick. That's not love. That's deception. Is it? You loved me that night. You didn't know I wasn't Marcus, but you loved me. So was it Marcus you loved? Or just the idea of him? Stop trying to justify this. I'm not. I know what I did was wrong. But Rebecca, you need to understand something. That night changed everything for me. For the first time in my life, I felt what my brother feels. And I realized I'd been chasing the wrong thing. I didn't want his life. I wanted my own. Then why did you do it again? Last night? He looked down. I didn't. What? Last night? That wasn't me. My blood ran cold. Yes, it was. Marcus left at 8:52. Someone came back at 9:27. It had to be you. Rebecca, I was in Portland last night. I can show you my credit card statements. I had dinner with a client. There are witnesses. Then who? I couldn't finish the sentence. My brain wasn't working. If Ryan wasn't at my house last night, then who was? Marcus left. Someone came back. Someone who looked like Marcus. Ryan leaned forward. Marcus has been weird lately. Distant. He called me last week asking strange questions about identity, about whether I thought we were truly different people or just different versions of the same person. I thought he was having some kind of existential crisis. But now I'm wondering, what? Rebecca, what if Marcus is testing you? Testing me how? What if he's the one who came home last night, but he's trying to make you think it was me, to see if you'd trust him or doubt him? My head was spinning. That doesn't make sense. Why would he do that? Because of what I did 3 months ago. He knows about it. I told him. I felt guilty, and I told him everything. He was furious at first. Didn't talk to me for a month, but then he called and said he forgave me, said he understood why I did it. But maybe, Ryan stopped, rubbed his face. Maybe he didn't really forgive me. Maybe he's been planning this, a way to mess with your head, to make you doubt everything. This is insane. Yeah, it is. I stood up. I needed to get out of there. Needed to breathe. I'm going home. I'm going to confront Marcus about all of this, and then I'm going to figure out what the hell I'm supposed to do with my marriage. Rebecca, wait. Ryan stood too. There's something else. Something I didn't tell you. I stopped. Turned around. That night 3 months ago, when I came to your house, you called me Marcus, and I answered to it. We talked. We were intimate. But right before I left, you said something. You said, I know it's been hard lately, but I'm here for you. Whatever you're going through, we'll figure it out together. And I realized you thought something was wrong with Marcus. You'd noticed he was different, distant, and you thought that night was him finally opening up to you. What are you saying? I'm saying Marcus has been struggling with something for a while, and you noticed, but you blamed yourself for not being able to help him, when really, he was just pulling away. And I think, Ryan hesitated. I think maybe he's been planning something for a long time, and we're both caught up in it. I drove home in a daze. It was almost dark by the time I pulled into the driveway. Marcus's car was already there. I sat in my car for 10 minutes, trying to figure out what to say, how to even begin this conversation. Finally, I went inside. Marcus was in the kitchen, making dinner. He looked up and smiled when he saw me. Hey babe, where were you? I tried calling. I had errands. I set my purse down, studied his face. Was this Marcus? Really, Marcus? How could I even tell anymore? Everything okay? You look upset. We need to talk. His smile faded. Okay, that sounds serious. It is. I found your flash drive. He went very still. For a moment, he didn't move at all. Then he slowly put down the knife he was holding. Oh, yeah. Oh, I saw the videos. All of them. I know what you and Ryan planned. I know what he did 3 months ago. And I know something happened last night, but I can't figure out what. Marcus leaned against the counter. He looked tired. So tired. Ryan told you? I called him. He told me he wasn't here last night. But someone was. Someone left this house at 8:52, and someone came back at 9:27. So if it wasn't Ryan, who was it? It was me. What? Rebecca. I never left. I was here the whole night. My mind was reeling. But the footage. I saw someone leave. I saw someone come back. That was Ryan. He borrowed my car earlier in the day, came over around 8 to drop it off, then left. He knew I'd be home all night. When he came back at 9:27, he was just returning my spare key. You were already upstairs. You didn't see him come in. He left the key on the hall table and let himself out. But the app showed you at work. I left my phone at the office. Forgot it when I came home early. I realized it when I got here, but I was too tired to go back for it. Everything was contradicting everything else. Nothing made sense. Marcus, I don't believe you. He looked at me. Really looked at me. His eyes were full of something I couldn't identify. Sadness? Guilt? Fear? I know, he said quietly. That's the point. What? Rebecca, these past few months I've been watching you, watching us, and I realized something. You don't really see me. You see a husband. You see the role I play. But me, the actual person, I don't think you know me at all. That's not true, isn't it? When Ryan was here 3 months ago, pretending to be me, you didn't notice. You made love to him, talked to him, opened up to him, and you thought it was me. But here's the thing. Ryan told me what you talked about that night. You told him things you've never told me. Real things. Deep things. Because you thought you were finally connecting with me, but you were connecting with him. I felt tears forming. You let him do that. You let him violate me. I know. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I needed to know if you could tell the difference. And you couldn't. And that's been eating me alive. So what was last night? Another test? Last night I came home early. I came home at 8:30, not 8:52. I was here when you thought I wasn't. I watched you watching TV. I stood in the hallway and looked at you and wondered if you'd notice I was there. You didn't. I stood there for 20 minutes, and you never looked up. Why didn't you just say something? Because I wanted to see if you'd feel my presence. If you'd sense me the way people are supposed to sense the person they love. But you didn't. So I went upstairs, changed my cologne to match Ryan's, and came back down. Pretended I'd just gotten home. And you believed it. You didn't question anything. Because I trusted you. No, because you don't really see me. You see what you want to see. A husband who comes home. A husband who loves you. But the actual person? You're not looking. I couldn't speak. The room felt like it was spinning. Marcus walked over to the table and sat down. I've been trying to figure out how to tell you this. I've been trying for months. And then Ryan did what he did. And I realized it was the perfect way to make you understand. To make you question. To make you actually look at me. Understand what? He looked up at me. And I saw it then. That different thing in his eyes. It wasn't sadness or guilt or fear. It was resignation. I'm not happy, he said. I haven't been happy for a long time. And I don't think you're happy either. But we're both so comfortable with the roles we play that we forgot to check in with the actual people living them. So this was all what? What? Some elaborate mind game to make me realize our marriage is failing? No. It was a desperate attempt to get you to see me. Really see me. Because I've been standing right in front of you, waving my arms, trying to get your attention, and you just keep looking through me. I sat down across from him. We stared at each other. Ryan told me something today. I said. He said you've been struggling with something. That you've been planning something. Marcus nodded. Yeah, I've been planning to leave. The words hit me like a physical blow. What? I can't do this anymore, Rebecca. I can't keep pretending everything's fine. I can't keep playing the role of the perfect husband when I feel like I'm disappearing. Every day I wake up and I feel less like myself. More like the person you want me to be. And that night when Ryan was here, when you told him all those deep, real things, I realized you were more yourself with him than you've ever been with me. Because you thought he was a version of me that you could finally talk to. But I'm right here. I've always been right here. You just couldn't see me. I was crying now. Full, ugly sobs. I do see you. I love you. Do you? Or do you love the idea of me? Because I honestly can't tell anymore. We sat there in silence. The food on the stove was getting cold. Everything was falling apart. I don't want you to leave, I whispered. I don't want to leave either. But I can't keep disappearing. And I think you can't keep pretending you're happy when you're not. I am happy. Then why didn't you notice I was sad? Why didn't you notice I was pulling away? Why didn't you notice anything until Ryan dressed up as me and gave you the emotional connection you've been craving? He was right. God, he was right. I'd been so focused on maintaining the image of a perfect marriage that I'd stopped looking at the reality of it. Marcus had been drowning, and I'd been posting pictures of us smiling on social media. What do? I asked. I don't know, but we can't keep doing this. We can't keep being two people playing house while our real selves watch from the sidelines. I wiped my face, looked at him, really looked at him, and for the first time in I don't know how long, I saw him, the real him, the one who was tired and sad and desperate to be seen. I'm sorry, I said. I'm so sorry I didn't see you. I'm sorry too, for the test, for Ryan, for all of it. I was wrong to do it that way, but I didn't know how else to break through. We need help. We need to talk to someone, a therapist or something. Yeah, we do. But even as I said it, I wondered if therapy could fix this, if anything could fix this, because the foundation of our marriage had been cracked for so long, and we'd both been too scared to look at it. That night we slept in separate rooms. I lay in our bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying everything, the videos, the conversations, the moment when Ryan pretended to be Marcus and I fell for it, the moment when Marcus came home and I didn't notice it was him acting different. Around 2 in the morning, I heard a knock on the bedroom door. Can I come in? Marcus's voice. Yeah? He came in, sat on the edge of the bed. I can't sleep. Me neither. Rebecca, I need you to know something. That night when Ryan was here, nothing physical happened. He told you that, right? I sat up. What? But he said. He lied. He came to the house, you talked. But when things started getting intimate, he couldn't do it. He told me later that he looked at you and saw how much you loved who you thought he was, and he couldn't go through with it. He left, told me he'd done it, but he was lying. To protect himself, to protect me. I don't know. My head was spinning again. So the first time, nothing happened, nothing physical, just talking, just connection, which is why it hurt so much, because you connected with him in a way you hadn't connected with me in years, and he didn't even have to try. He just had to show up and be present. And last night, Marcus looked down. Last night was me, all me. I was testing to see if you could tell something was different, if you could sense that I was off. You couldn't. And that's when I knew we'd lost something fundamental. But we can get it back. We can fix this. Can we? Really? Because I don't even know where to start. We sat there in the dark. Outside, I could hear a car passing. Normal life continuing while ours fell apart. Start with the truth, I said. From now on, just the truth. No more tests. No more games. Just honest, real conversation. Okay. And Marcus, I do see you. Maybe I haven't been looking, but I see you now. And I want to fight for this. For us. For the real us. He reached over and took my hand. His hand. I knew it was his hand. I'd held it 1,000 times. And maybe that was the problem. I'd held it so many times I'd stopped feeling it. But right then, in that moment, I felt it. The warmth. The slight callus on his thumb from his gaming mouse. The way his fingers interlocked with mine just so. It was him. It was Marcus. And I knew it. I want to fight for it too, he said. Over the next few weeks, we started therapy. It was hard, brutal sometimes. We had to confront things we'd been avoiding for years. But slowly, we started to see each other. Really see each other. Ryan called me one day. I was surprised to hear from him. We hadn't talked since that day at the coffee shop. I need to apologize, he said. For real this time. No excuses. What I did was wrong. I was jealous and selfish, and I hurt both of you. Yeah, you did. I know. And I'm not asking for forgiveness. I just wanted you to know I'm working on myself. I'm seeing a therapist too, trying to figure out why I did what I did. Good. That's good. For what it's worth, I think you and Marcus can make it. I saw how you two were together. The real you two, not the performance version. There's something there worth saving. Thanks, Ryan. And Rebecca, you asked me once why you couldn't tell the difference between me and Marcus. Want to know what I think? Yeah, I think you could. Deep down. I think some part of you knew, but you didn't want to believe it, because believing it would mean admitting something was wrong. And that was scarier than just going along with what you thought you knew. He was right. On some level, I had known. That night with Ryan, something had felt off. And last night with Marcus acting strange, something had felt off. But I'd ignored those feelings because acknowledging them meant acknowledging bigger problems. Now, sitting here in my car outside this motel room, I finally understand what Marcus was trying to tell me. We'd both been sleepwalking through our marriage, playing parts instead of being people. The motel room in front of me is where Marcus is staying temporarily. He moved out 2 weeks ago. Not because we're getting divorced, because we needed space to figure out who we are as individuals before we could be together as a couple. I'm about to go knock on his door. We have our couples therapy session in an hour, but I wanted to get here early. Wanted to talk to him, the real him, not the husband role, not the comfortable familiar version, the actual human being named Marcus who I married and who I'm learning to see for the first time. I can see him through the window. He's sitting on the bed, looking at his phone. He looks different. His hair's a little longer. He's wearing clothes I don't recognize. He's becoming himself again. Not my husband, not Ryan's brother, just Marcus. And you know what? I think I'm ready to meet him. I get out of the car, walk to the door, knock. He opens it and looks at me, really looks at me, and I look back. And for the first time in I don't know how long, we're both present, both real, both here. Hey, he says. Hey, you're early. Yeah, I wanted to talk before therapy. Okay. He steps aside and I walk in. The room is small but neat. There's a coffee maker on the dresser, his laptop on the bed, a few books stacked on the nightstand. Signs of a life being rebuilt. How are you? I ask. Honestly, I'm okay. Better than I've been in a while. The space has been good. Weird but good. Yeah, we sit down. Him on the bed, me on the single chair. There's distance between us now. Physical distance. But somehow it feels less than the distance we had when we were living together. Marcus, I've been thinking about what you said, about me not seeing you. And you were right. I was looking at you, but I wasn't seeing you. I was seeing what I expected to see, what I wanted to see. He nods, and I was doing the same thing. I was so focused on whether you could tell me apart from Ryan that I forgot to just be myself with you. I was always performing, always trying to be the husband I thought you wanted. I don't want a performance. I want you. I know. I'm learning learning that now. We talk for a while, really talk, about our fears, about what we want, about who we are when we're not trying to be anything for anyone else. And it's honest, painfully honest, but it's real. I don't know if we can fix this, he says eventually. The marriage, we broke something fundamental. Maybe we can't fix it. Maybe we have to build something new. He looks at me. Would you want to build something new with me? Yeah, I think I would. Even after everything? Maybe because of everything. We know the truth now. About each other. About ourselves. That's a better foundation than pretending. He smiles. It's small and sad, but real. We should probably head to therapy. Yeah. We leave the motel room together, not holding hands, not playing the role of a couple. Just two people walking side by side, trying to figure out if they can find their way back to each other. Or maybe forward to something entirely new. The therapist's office is nearby. We walk in silence, but it's not uncomfortable silence. It's the silence of two people who are finally being honest with themselves, who are finally looking at reality instead of the image they wanted to project. In therapy that day, we talk about the twin brother situation. The therapist doesn't judge, just asks questions, helps us understand why it happened, what it meant, what we do with it now. The twin brother was a metaphor, she says at one point. You were both trying to figure out if you loved each other as individuals or as concepts, and the confusion between Marcus and Ryan symbolized the confusion in your marriage. You'd blurred together so much that you'd lost yourselves. She's right. The whole thing, Ryan pretending to be Marcus, Marcus pretending to be different, me not being able to tell, it was all a reflection of how lost we'd become. So what do we do? I ask. You learn to see each other, every day, intentionally. You build a relationship based on who you actually are, not who you think you should be. It sounds simple. It's not. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. But over the months that follow, we try. Marcus stays at the motel for a while, then gets his own small apartment. We date. Actually date. Like new people meeting each other. We have dinners where we talk about our days, our thoughts, our fears. No performance. No pretending. Ryan sends a letter. A real letter. Handwritten. He apologizes again. Says he's moving to another state. Starting fresh. He thinks it's better for everyone if he creates some distance. I write back and tell him I forgive him. Not because what he did was okay, but because holding on to anger was poisoning me. 6 months after that night when everything came apart, Marcus and I are sitting in a park. It's sunny. Kids are playing on the playground. Normal life happening around us. I think I'm ready, he says. Ready for what? To try again. To move back in. To really be married instead of playing house. I think about it. Really think about it. Not just agreeing because it's what I'm supposed to do, but considering if it's what I actually want. Yeah, I say. Me too. But different this time. Completely different. He reaches over and takes my hand, and I feel it. Really feel it. The warmth, the pressure, the realness of it. It's not a performance. It's not a role. It's just him. Marcus. The person I married. The person I'm learning to see. We're not fixed. We probably never will be completely fixed. But we're real now. We're honest. We're looking at each other instead of through each other. And that night when Marcus moves his things back into our house, when we stand in our bedroom and look at each other, when he kisses me and I kiss him back, I know it's him. Not because of how he looks or sounds or smells, but because I'm finally seeing him, the real him, and he's seeing me. And maybe that's what love is supposed to be. Not perfect, not easy, just real. Just two people choosing to see each other every single day, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. There's no dramatic revelation at the end, no perfect resolution, just the choice to keep trying, to keep seeing, to keep being real with each other, even when it's terrifying. And somehow that's enough. The twin brother visits one more time. A year later, we have dinner together, the three of us. It's awkward at first, but then Ryan tells a story about their childhood, and Marcus laughs, and I see the brother bond that's always been there. Complicated, messy, but real. I'm sorry, Ryan says at the end of the night, for everything. We know, Marcus says, and we're moving forward. Ryan nods, looks at me. Take care of him. I will. The real him. After he leaves, Marcus and I clean up the dinner dishes together. It's domestic and normal and boring, but I'm present for it. Really present. Seeing every moment, every gesture. What are you thinking about? Marcus asks. How I almost lost this. Lost you. But you didn't. But I almost did. He puts down the dish he's drying and turns to me. Rebecca, we're here now. That's what matters. We're here and we're real. And we're trying. Yeah, we are. And that's the truth. We're trying. Every single day. To see each other. To be ourselves. To build something real instead of something comfortable. It's not the ending I expected when I started this story. But it's the ending we earned. Not perfect. Not wrapped up with a bow. Just honest. Just real. And somehow that's the most satisfying ending of all.